Alright, let's dump this out. The thing is, it doesn't smell burnt, which is weird. I'm in a little bit of a pickle here, and it all surrounds my 4L80E transmission that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. I bought the transmission for $900, and I was told when I bought it, it was recently rebuilt. Well, a couple videos ago, when I pulled the engine and transmission out of the truck after mocking it up and measuring for the dry shaft, I made a big mess when I spilled a lot of transmission fluid on the ground. You can still see the stain on the concrete. Well, I'm a little bit concerned because that transmission fluid was pretty dark. I was supposed to drop the pan while it was in the truck, and I had just forgot to do that. So I actually haven't taken a look at anything yet. Well, where all this stuff kind of comes into play is I bought some parts for the transmission that's probably going to make me make a decision on either rebuilding it or not. So let me explain. I bought a Jake's Performance Transmissions 4L80 recal kit. It's a shift kit for the transmission, and it does a couple other upgrades for some horsepower handling capabilities. What I didn't know is it's meant to be installed while you rebuild a trans, because there's some internal modifications that you have to do in order for everything to work like it's supposed to. So at the minimum, I'm gonna have to pull hard parts out of the transmission, which I've never done before, make those modifications, and put everything back together. Well, if you're already doing all that, sometimes you just go ahead and replace the clutches and seals while you're in there. And I don't know if it's the right decision to just try it myself without replacing anything, but being able to get into the transmission and make the modifications, or should we just have it rebuilt and take it somewhere where they can do the shift kit install and a minor rebuild at the same time. The problem is I eventually want to build this transmission for some pretty high horsepower. I've got some parts for this truck that are going to go on in the future, and it should be pretty potent, and it's going to need a trans to handle it. So I don't really want to rebuild the trans twice. So with all that information, I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this trans picked up in the air, and we're going to drop the pan. And then we're going to kind of inspect everything. If it looks like there's a whole bunch of material and nastiness in the trans, I think that's going to lead me to go ahead and bite the bullet, take it somewhere, and get it rebuilt. If it looks nice and clean, I may go ahead and be comfortable enough with just trying to do the modifications myself, which, you know, I don't mess with transmissions. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm a little bit curious about it to see if I could do it myself, but I don't know if that's the right thing. So let's get the pan off, let's look at it, and then we'll make a decision from there. Might be a quick video today, but I've got to do this in order to kind of find out where to go from here. Also, good news is it's raining. We haven't had rain in, you know, quite a while. I've kind of been telling y'all that it's rained sparingly over the last couple weeks, but it's definitely raining today, so I'm sure you guys can hear that hitting the roof. So my apologies for the audio quality on this video today, but let's get after it. Let me get this thing lifted up in the air, and then we'll get the pan dropped, and we'll go from there. This may not be the easiest thing to see me do, as I'm just going to go around the perimeter and take all these bolts off here. Probably going to take some extra brackets and stuff off, because this pan's not dropping unless you drop that bracket. But yeah, let me get everything loose. So I've got a bolt in the back that's still a little tight here, so I can lower the front and not make too much of a mess. Also got some plastic down, I'm sure you guys can see, to help contain what could be really bad. Hopefully it won't be. Okay, looking all right so far. There we go. I'm gonna let it drip for a little while, and then I'm gonna drain this pan out. All right, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pull this filter off while it's draining, and it's almost done draining anyway. And in fact, I think the drain's coming from the filter, and this filter just, it's got a rubber bushing, it just kind of goes in there. And well, there goes that one. And there we go. Let me see if I can't get a good eye on some of this fluid to see where we're at. Well, this is what I'm talking about. This fluid should be bright red, and I can see on the camera the color of it. And then look at all that. I'm not sure what that is, but it doesn't look good. I'm not liking the color. I'm not liking all the stuff in the pan. And well, we got a little bit more looking to do here, but I'm gonna drain this stuff out, then see if I can't get the trans on the floor, kind of turn it over and see if we can look at some stuff. All right, let's dump this out. The thing is, it doesn't smell burnt, which is weird. Look at that. It's a lot of metal. It's a lot of metal. Let this thing just dump out for a little bit. Well, here's just the pan alone. There's a decent amount of shavings in it for sure, and then some thicker stuff over here next to the magnet. The magnet's got a lot on it. So, not looking good. I've got to do some research in here and asking a couple buddies that are experts on this stuff, and I don't know. Hadn't made a decision yet. What do you think? Would you just get this thing rebuilt? But remember, we'll rebuild it again in a year. Or would you just try to throw it together and send it? Which side of the street do you live on? So, I don't know. Well, I have nothing definitive. I do know that there is a lot of dirt and metal in this transmission, but the case here looks super clean. Is that indicative of anything? I don't know. And yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. So I really don't want to spend, it's $500 for the basic rebuild kit alone, and then to have someone do it, you know, labor on top of that. We've gotten a quote for about $850 before to do a basic rebuild on it, and I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. It doesn't look as dirty as I thought it was, maybe. But then again, I'm not a pro at these things. So I'm going to have to reach out to people that know more about this than I do and kind of go from there. But this is the reverse servo, and it's metal and it's all dirty, and then the aluminum casing is really, really clean, but the fluid is dark. So are you a transmission expert? What do you think? What would you do? You know, I'm all ears. I don't know if I'm going to be making a move this week or not, but I definitely got some research to do. So, well, I'll be honest with you guys. I may have made a mountain out of a molehill when it comes to this transmission. Apparently, the color that the fluid was, which was that like brown, was still some red tint to it. is actually the desired color you want for a transmission that's been working or installed for a little while. It's not burnt, it's not black, it doesn't smell bad. Those are all really, really good things. And I didn't know that. That was a deficit on my part, and I reached out to a couple friends and did some research online, and it all comes back, hey, that looks good. You know, I wouldn't be worried about it. So I'm going to take their advice and not be worried about it. The other thing is that clutch material that was in it is actually pretty minimal. And if I remember, when I pulled my Turbo 400 apart for the first time, it was pretty bad. So we're actually in good shape. And you can kind of see that with the filter right here, because this filter it's got that brown/red color to it, which is good. But there's nothing in it. There's no chunks, there's no copper, there's no aluminum, there's no foreign objects in the transmission that's going to cause any harm. The rest of it may have just been a little bit of clutch material, which is somewhat normal wear and tear. So this trans is likely in good shape. The better news on top of that is I reached out on an online forum for 4L80E stuff, and Jake's from Jake's Performance Transmission actually replied back to my question and let me know that we can install the plate kit without doing the internal modifications to the transmission, which is fantastic. So we're going to install that plate kit, do the accumulator delete, and the spring for the pump. And this is all stuff that we can do without having to remove the pump or anything else in the transmission. So that's perfect, because right now, that's all I need. Eventually, this transmission is going to get a full build, front to back, parts that I'm probably can't pronounce in a trans brake, but we're not there yet. We got a couple other goals to take care of right now, and this trans should hold up fine for quite a while for what I'm doing with the Dakota. So I'm going to throw that shift kit in it. It's going to firm up the shifts, and then we'll start putting the Dakota back together, which I'm really excited about. So that's really good news. So much good news that I actually came out and filmed this second intro. We're going to get rid of the first one to let you guys know that information and keep you updated on it. So this weekend I'm going to work on doing that, and I'm going to show you guys that. I probably won't go into depth because I really don't know if I'm doing it right. I'm only doing it based off of my research and stuff like that, and I'm not a transmission expert. So you'll see what I do, and then we'll find out if it works, that kind of thing. So anyways, well, I'm much relieved. I've already ordered some parts to finish this thing up, so we'll be doing that soon, and then getting everything in the truck and trying to get this thing running here before the end of the year is my goal. It's October, so you know, we don't have a whole lot of time left, but I think I can get it done, and I don't really have a whole lot left to order. So I'm stoked to finally get this poor truck back on the road, and then if everything goes well the first year, I might have a surprise for you guys. So anyways, Gramps is over there. He's ready to kind of get going back together. I'm ready to look at a brake issue on this thing. The Sonoma needs some issues resolved with the wiring, because I had a little issue the other night. Bel Air's got plans for next year. Gotta do some paint repair on the Dakota. So what I'm saying is we have a whole lot of stuff going on, and if you like the stuff that we're working on, please consider subscribing and hanging out with us. We'd love to have you along. We'd love the people to come in and comment and chat with us, and just, you know, hang out and see what we're doing, you know. So like I said, please consider subscribing and doing that. We also do social media, just Facebook and Instagram. So we do some stuff on there from time to time as well. So we'd love to have you follow along there as well. So, all right, well, that's it. I'm gonna go inside and get this video edited up so it comes out this weekend. And then I'm gonna be on campus for work next week. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a video out next week or not, but I'm gonna do my best to try to do so. So, as long as I get this thing done this weekend, we'll be fine. So anyways, that's it. That's all I got for you. And until next time, you guys know the deal. Y'all be good.